Hey there, welcome. Have you ever wondered what happens when you move your mouse on a Linux desktop? Like, who actually draws those windows on your screen? Today, we're diving into one of the most fundamental and surprisingly dramatic stories in the Linux world, the battle between Xorg and Wayland. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to look at your desktop in a completely different way. Let's start at the very beginning. Back in 1984, a team at MIT built something called the X Window system, or X11. Think of it as the very first layer that let Unix computers show graphical windows. This was revolutionary. Before X11, everything was just text on a black screen. X11 gave us the ability to have windows, menus, and mouse cursors. It was the foundation of the graphical desktop as we know it. Now here's what made X11 special, and also what eventually became its biggest problem. It was designed to work over a network. You could run an application on a computer in another room and display it on your screen. That was mind-blowing for 1984. But to do this, X11 was built with a very complex architecture, a central server that handled all the drawing, talking to the hardware, the applications, and everything in between. So picture this. Your application wants to draw a button on screen. It doesn't draw it directly. Instead, it sends a request to the X server. The X server then talks to the display, handles your input devices, manages windows. Everything flows through this one big traffic cop in the middle. For decades, this worked. But as modern desktops got fancier, with compositing effects, animations, and hardware acceleration, this architecture started to creak under the pressure. This is where Xorg comes in. Xorg is the open source implementation of X11 that became the standard on Linux desktops. When you run Ubuntu, Fedora, Debian, Xorg was the display server handling your screen for many years. It's basically X11 in practice. But Xorg inherited all the complexity of that 1984 design, code that nobody fully understood anymore, security holes, and performance bottlenecks that were nearly impossible to fix without breaking everything. Let me give you a real example of an Xorg problem. In Xorg, any application on your desktop can watch what you're typing in any other application. Your password manager, your terminal. A rogue app could spy on keystrokes across the entire system. Why? Because in X11's design, every window can listen to input events from every other window. That was fine in 1984 when trust was assumed, but in today's world, it's a serious security nightmare. And there's another pain point, the compositor. In modern desktops, a compositor is the piece that adds visual effects, smooth animations, transparency, window shadows. In Xorg, the compositor is a separate layer sitting on top of the X server. So the rendering path goes app, X server, compositor, back to X server, screen. That's a lot of bouncing around. This creates tearing, lag, and unnecessary complexity. The X server was doing work that the compositor was just going to redo anyway. Now enter the hero of our story, Wayland. In 2008, a developer named Christian Hogsberg, who was actually working on Xorg at the time, started thinking, what if we started fresh? What if we designed a display system for the modern era, with today's hardware, today's security needs, today's performance expectations? And so Wayland was born, not as a replacement product, but as a protocol, a new way for apps and the display system to talk to each other. Here's the key insight of Wayland. Eliminate the middleman. In Wayland, there is no separate X server sitting in the middle. Instead, the Wayland compositor is the display server. It talks directly to the GPU, directly to the input devices, and directly to the applications. No bouncing, no traffic cop, no unnecessary hops. The app sends a frame to the compositor puts it on screen. Clean, simple, fast. Let's talk security, because this is where Wayland really shines. Remember how in Xorg any app could spy on your keystrokes? In Wayland, every application is isolated. Your password manager can only see events meant for it. No other app can sniff your keyboard input, take screenshots of other apps, or inject fake input events. This isolation is built into the protocol itself. It's not a patch or a workaround, it's the fundamental design. Performance is another huge win. Because the compositor is now directly in control of everything, the GPU, the inputs, the rendering pipeline, it can be incredibly efficient. No more tearing when you scroll a web page, no more flickering when a window appears. Wayland uses a technique called damage tracking. It only redraws the parts of the screen that actually changed. Your GPU does less work, your battery lasts longer, and animations are buttery smooth. But here's where the story gets complicated. And this is why, as of today, both Xorg and Wayland still coexist. Wayland is a protocol, not a specific software. So who builds the Wayland compositor? That's up to the desktop environment. GNOME has its own Wayland compositor called Mutter. KDE uses Kwin. Sway is a popular standalone Wayland compositor. Each desktop team had to basically rewrite or heavily adapt their compositors to support Wayland, and that took years. And then there's application compatibility. Millions of X11 applications exist. Games, productivity tools, creative apps, they were all written to talk to an X server. They have no idea Wayland even exists. So how do they run on a Wayland desktop? The answer is a compatibility layer called X-Wayland. X-Wayland is basically a mini X server that runs inside Wayland. It translates X11 app requests into Wayland commands. So your old X11 apps still work, they just go through a translation layer. Now let's talk about where things stand today, 2024 and beyond. Major Linux distributions have been making the big switch. Fedora switched to Wayland by default all the way back in 2016. Ubuntu switched to Wayland by default in 22.04. GNOME on Wayland is now considered stable and feature complete. Even NVIDIA, which resisted Wayland for years due to driver complexity, has now added solid Wayland support. The tide has definitively turned. But is Wayland perfect? Honestly, not quite yet. Some applications still have quirks on Wayland. Screen sharing on older video conferencing apps can be tricky without the right portal support. Some gaming tools and input method editors still have edge cases. Remote desktop over Wayland is still maturing. These aren't deal breakers for most users, but power users and developers sometimes still prefer Xorg for specific use cases where compatibility matters more than the modern benefits. One thing that trips people up is if Wayland is a protocol, what exactly is a Wayland compositor? Think of it like this. HTTP is a protocol, and Apache or Nginx are the servers that implement it. In the same way, Wayland is the protocol, and compositors like Mutter, Kwin, and Weston are the software that implement it. When you're running GNOME on Ubuntu with Wayland enabled, Mutter is your Wayland compositor. It's managing your windows, your effects, your GPU, everything. Let's also touch on something called Weston. It's the reference compositor for Wayland. Think of Weston as the textbook implementation. It's not meant for everyday use, but it shows developers exactly how a Wayland compositor should work. It's clean, minimal, and used for testing. When developers want to check if their app works correctly on Wayland, they often test against Weston first. It's like the gold standard reference. So how do you know which one you're running right now? It's super easy to check. Open a terminal and type echo $xdg _session_type, and it'll tell you either Wayland or X11. On most modern systems, you'll see Wayland. If you're on Xorg, you'll see X11. You can also check at your login screen. Most distributions let you choose between a Wayland session and an Xorg session right there before you log in. Here's the big picture takeaway. Xorg is the battle-hardened veteran. 40 years of compatibility, millions of supported apps, and rock-solid reliability for specific use cases. Wayland is the modern architect, designed for security, performance, and the demands of today's hardware. They're not enemies, they coexist. Wayland even runs Xorg apps through X-Wayland. The Linux desktop world is in a transition, and it's a healthy, exciting one. So to wrap up, The next time your Linux desktop smoothly animates a window or your password stays safe from rogue apps, there's a good chance Wayland is working silently behind the scenes. It's one of the most important infrastructure upgrades in Linux desktop history, and it's happening right now on your machine. Thanks so much for watching. If this clicked for you, drop a like, share it with a fellow Linux learner, and I'll see you in the next one.